I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, January the 25th, where if you guys are up in the northern Montana region, I'm going to be speaking at the Montana Farmers Union Producers Conference this weekend, and it looks like it's going to be a heck of a good conference there, and I'm kind of excited. I noticed that Chick Wilfong, the I Know Pancho Villa guy, is going to be there speaking, so how's it getting better than that? But if you guys are in the area and can make it to that in Havre, Montana, come up and see me there. But looking forward to making the trip up there this weekend to do that. But you look at what's going on around this end of this week, there's no cattle on feed report. And I know that's shocking to you guys and so disappointing. And I know a lot of you guys listen to this while you're driving, and don't veer your pickup into oncoming traffic or anything. It's going to be okay. We'll get through it without the cattle on feed report this month. But looks like the government's still shut down, and that is one portion of it that we won't get. But they assume that if they get back to work pretty soon, they'll probably go ahead and release it. If not, could skip it. But the cattle on feed estimates, which when it comes out by USDA, it's still just an estimate, but the estimate of the estimates is that on feed inventories for January 1st are going to be near 102.3, placements about 102 even, and marketing's just under 100% at 99.9. But not sure when or if we're going to get the cattle on feed report, but I guarantee you we'll live through it. Let's look at the board for Thursday. February live cattle futures down 20 cents at 125.35. April down 2 cents at 126.47. January feeder cattle up 75 cents at 143.77. March is up 67 cents at 144.32. Your fat trade through Wednesday only 3,900, and we've talked about that, just trying to pull the market down because of the mud. A lot of tag on these cattle. They're not dressing, or dressing percentage on them is way down, and so that's hurting the final tally on them. We've seen prices near steady, slightly lower, but have not established a market as of yet. On Thursday, we saw a little bit more trade, not enough to establish a market, but about 500 head negotiated in the country in the 5 area. In Iowa, from 195 to 198. Our last established dress market was 197, so we're in there pretty tight. Earlier in the week, we'd seen some 122 to 125. Our last established market on a live basis is 124. On Thursday, we did see some trade in Nebraska from 122 to mostly 123, but the mostly 123 is just what we heard of. It has not been confirmed on USDA's mandatory price reporting, but I think it was later in the day. But sounds like they had quite a bit of trade. Western Nebraska at 123. We'll see whether that is confirmed or not, but pretty sure that that's happened. Box beef cutout values holding pretty darn good this week, and the Packers are getting back in the driver's seat with better margins now. They're beating the market down, and their cutout values are rising. But choice cuts on Thursday afternoon, 217.75, that was up 54 cents. Selects at 212.14, up 10 cents. Slaughter is very healthy, 468,000 through Thursday, 34,000 more than the same week a year ago. But you look at what's coming up here on Friday. Burwell Livestock Market, Burwell, Nebraska, a DV Auction customer. You can view and bid on dvauction.com for the Burwell Big Special, calf and yearling special on Friday here. And it includes many, many long strings of Reputation, one iron ranch calves, including 475 head of Red Angus certified calves from the Wilde ranches there. And just going to be a whale of a sale in Burwell, Nebraska on Friday. And you guys, if you can't attend there, be sure and watch it on dvauction.com. Look at what went on Thursday. Real-time index on Cattle Market Central ended the day at 142.82, up another 57 cents. So we had that rally in the feeder cattle futures on Wednesday, and all your cash markets were higher, continuing higher in the cash market on Thursday, and a little bit on the board there too, but that thing's really turned around. Not sure why. The weather really hasn't. Bitter cold, I tell you what, right in our nation's breadbasket, right in the heartland there. I talked to some friends of mine, Kansas and Missouri, going out towards Illinois, just bitter cold. And it's one of those winters that just keeps dragging on. Snow's piled up, the ice never goes away. If you ever get a decent day that starts to warm up and it gets over freezing, that just means it's going to be muddy and make it that much more miserable. And it's one of those deals that just seems like it's never going to end. And I've been in them before. It's one reason I'm here in the Texas Panhandle. The wind blows and it does get cold, but it warms back up, and it does it in a hurry, and you never have to worry about too much moisture, that's for sure. But look at some markets on Thursday. Pratt, Kansas, lighter run due to the same reasons I was talking about. Excuse me, but 1,300 head there in Pratt. Light run of feeder steers, $7 higher. Steer calves, where they were tested, $3 to $10 higher. Not a good test on any heifers really to speak of, but a higher undertow noted on them. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock, Salina, Kansas, just 1,800 head there. Same deal, bitter cold. You go on out, St. Joe on Wednesday in St. Joe, Missouri only had 250 head. They canceled some sales in northern Missouri. It's just that cold, miserable, bitter. You can't get cattle out because the roads are frozen, the country roads are slick. If it does warm up, like I said, then it's too muddy and it's just a mess. But only 1,800 head in Salina. They had a higher undertone, but not a very good test there on a market that usually gets a lot more cattle than that. Did have a big sale in Ogallala, Nebraska, though, 5,200 head there. Good sale there. And we've kind of seen just a balance back and forth. Earlier in the week, we saw big cattle lower and lighter calves higher. Then on Wednesday, we saw some markets that had your big feeding cattle higher and your calves lower. But now we're back. Ogallala had over 800-pound feeder cattle, $2 to $6 lower than their big stock show special last week, where they had such a big run. But the under 800-pound lighter weight calves, stockers, and lighter weight feeding calves that the farmer feeders like, because they will put away a lot of corn. And by putting it away, I mean add value to it, make use of it. And your farmer feeders are really wanting those 600 to 750-pound feeder cattle this time, because they've got a lot of corn to add value to and put away. But under 800-pounders were steady to $6 higher. Look at an individual quote from Ogallala on Cattle Market Central. 61 head of 572-pound calves bring $184. Very impressive there. Go up north and back east there, Mitchell, South Dakota, 3,900 head there. Pretty good sale, but they're known to have a lot bigger ones than they did a week ago, but still 3,900 head there. The market was a lot closer to steady on all weights of calves and feeder cattle. But look at an individual quote out of Mitchell, South Dakota on Cattle Market Central. 72 head of 718-pound steers bring $156.35. That'd be about as high as we've seen all week. Now that's your feeder flash for Friday.